Hello!
Hello!
And
Greetings.
welcome to House Rules. Oh, why is there a blank spot? That's not... Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay, well, there's a random white spot in the middle of our
I swear
overlay.
it's never happened.
I just realized it, but oh well, it's fine. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, we are a group, we are nerds from the four corners of the US, or from coast to coast, however you want to describe it. And we play D&D that's super heavily homebrewed, so welcome if it's your first time. With that, let's go ahead and dive into things. We start off with Paru, who had gone to the clinic to see, just kind of be there through the status of Christu. Crois, her now husband, was nowhere to be found. And Paru being there, though he was not permitted within the room, as he had no immediate tie to her, he is there, and he is able to rest, or try to stay awake as long as he can before he inevitably falls asleep during the process. It is just as you are indeed nodding off to sleep that there is a hustle. There's clattering and there are fast footsteps that kind of pick up along the way. Waking out of a partial stupor, you are looking around to see people going around different directions. Also, I'm echoing somewhere. From someone, so
I don't hear it.
Okay, maybe not anymore. Okay, but so that being said, the door to Christu's compartment where she's being kept, where she's being medically attended to, you can see there's lots of figures rushing in and out. What would you like to do in this situation?
He's not going to try to interfere, but he's going to kind of run into the room and look to the people that are rushing back and forth. What is happening? What is going on? And if need be, I am willing to try to do a medicine check.
Okay.
To see if I can figure out what is going on.
Yeah. So as you're, go ahead and make an investigation check for me. As you're trying to pull someone aside, I assume Paru is also trying not to pull someone aside who is of vital importance in this situation.
Yeah, he's just asking generally. He's not trying to interfere. And that's a very terrible 3 that he rolled on his investigation.
Okay. As you're going around, you seem to just be stopping people who are very involved in this process. There is some amount of arcane humming coming from the door, and as you are looking around, finally there's someone kind of dressed in these white robes, kind of lined with this sky blue embroidery and whatnot, who comes up to your back and says, "Look, sir, why don't you just head this way, and she'll be fine. We're calling the doctor right now." And kind of grabs your arm. Do you let him take you?
He'll go along, but he'll be like, "You haven't had a doctor here this whole time?"
No, we're talking about bringing in the doctor. And as he steps away, there is a flash of light near the entrance, and a gnome dressed in a white suit with red and blue lining in varying vibrancy and iridescence comes in, and this is the famed Reginald. Alrighty then, well, looks like we've got quite a project ahead of us. And he kind of strides in, and you can see that there's a floating ember of light, almost like a drop of sunlight, like a star. It's just floating behind him with these like long tendrils that kind of fade in and out of existence. As he goes into the room, he stops by you and gives you a quizzical look. He's important.
I'm what?
He's important. He's gonna have to let him in. And you can see that there's a number of medical assistants here who are kind of looking at each other oddly, but do not want to question whomever this may be. And as he goes into the room, the doors open seemingly by magic, and it's like people have parted for you two to make your way in. Inside, you can see that there are a number of tools at work on Christu. Particularly, there seem to be very precise incisions around the cranial area. The rest of her body is relatively unscathed, should we say. And there are a number of people trying to conduct surgery. There's a little bit of blood. There is some openness to her skull as they are trying to conduct something, combining science and magic in this moment. As Reginald makes his way over, everybody kind of backs away slowly. And he says, all right, Vera, I think it's time for us to get to work. And the star-like shape merges into his body. His eyes go alight, and the tendrils kind of stretch out from his back, almost like spider legs. And they like sink and phase through Christu's brain. And it's almost as if it makes part of her skull like translucent as they go in there. Seem to be rearranging things.
Well, this would obviously be very mysterious and concerning to Paru. Can he try to ascertain what exactly he's trying to do, or what exactly kind of nature of magic he's using?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, there's so many questions that I want to ask.
One at a time. One at a time.
Yeah,
so make an Arcana check to determine what kind of magic is being used here.
Okay. 16 Arcana.
16. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
As you're sitting there, you've heard of ecos before, and whatever the nature of this eco seems to be associated with some degree of separating or putting things together. There's a very merge aspect of whatever this eco is, which you would, at this point, the knowledge of ecos is widely spread in comparison to last campaign. Karsh was one of the people who saw to that, actually. Seeing that people needed to know, about the natural world around them. And so with that, you understand kind of the vague powers that they possess that's kind of fueled by the conscious imagination and the effort put apart on the person with whom this eco bonds. So that being said, you're aware that this is being utilized in a fashion that is meant to obviously bring someone into a state of higher health.
Okay. Yeah, I think that answers all the questions he has. He's just going to be observing then.
Okay. As you're observing, you notice that a bunch of the other doctors, both scientific and arcane in origin, are taking furious notes. They are, with respectful distance, appearing over and watching the process and seeing how things are connected. Probably trying to glean as much from this very advanced procedure as they can for their own proficiency as medics of sorts. With that being said, as you are here, you hear Reginald's voice in your head. She's not going to make it without some persuasion.
Paru will approach the body of Christu, and he will take off the ring that he wove, and it still has the clip on it to originally function as an earring, and he will say, Christu, please come back, even if not for me, but I meant to give this to you on that fateful night. And he will clip the ring that he was wearing to her ear.
Okay. She has several piercings along her feline ears that you choose one, and it dangles as if it were meant to be there. In that brief moment, I want you to make a house roll.
All right. 11.
11. All right. As you clip the earring there, you feel your hand brush her ear, and Reginald like snags your hand gently but instantly and keeps the contact between you and Christu going. He says, just so you know, and this is all in your head, you're dealing in matters of life and death. You understand the weight of this, don't you?
Yes. Even though he has no idea of all the implications, but yeah,
Make a deception check.
Okay, sure. I mean, he understands she's going.
Right.
There's the possibility of her dying, but the powers that are being utilized, he does not understand. 9.
9. Okay. You're a very bad liar.
Yeah, that's one of the many things she pointed out about me.
It is my suggestion that you seek a moment to join with her in this moment. To make sure, for your sake and for her own, that she indeed wants to come back.
Okay.
This I can do for you. I will send you in, and you can converse with her, ever so briefly. She must understand the weight of this decision, for it is unlikely she will return in full capacity of who she was. If she indeed does.
How would she return?
It's hard to tell. Could be an affliction of the mind. Of course, that's if this goes well.
Okay. Yes, I will go in there and speak with her.
Before you even finish your sentence, the world around you darkens as you almost watch yourself zoom into the earring, into Christu's head, as it just gets larger and larger. And before you know it, you blink your eyes and you're in some kind of mental scape. There's a sunset here. That's happening, cresting over the mountains, with the sea on the other side as the sun is setting. Christu sits there, on a rock, looking towards the mountains and looking towards the sea, and then looks at you. Her eyes soften. What would you like to do?
Come in. What's up?
He will run over to Christu.
I turned the thing off.
Kneel down in front of her and say, Christu, it is good to see you again. It looks very much like when I first met you.
It does.
I don't know how much time I have, Christu, but we are trying to revive you. The question they have is, you may not come back the same as before, and I don't know if you want to come back or if it would be best to let you go.
I have to admit, there's a lot I'm feeling right now. But more than anything, I'm happy to see you. And she walks over and grabs your paws. She folds them into her own.
He'll nuzzle her paws up against his face too. I've missed you so much. I just don't know what to do.
I don't either. And she just kind of like slowly leans into you and thrusts her arms in between yours underneath.
He'll embrace her in return. And he says, I think you would be happier if you were not forced to be someone you likely would not want to be. So, as much as I don't want to say goodbye to you, I think I need to say goodbye.
You can feel the tears streaming off of her that are starting to wet your fur as she clutches you closer. I'm so sorry for everything. I know you know it wasn't me.
I know it wasn't.
But it doesn't ease things. She pulls out briefly and clutches your face in her palms.
I will do what I can so nothing like this ever happens again.
I know you will. You're my Paru. And she rubs the side of your cheek and pulls your head close to hers and gives you a kiss.
Paru returns the kiss, and having a feeling that he doesn't have much time left, he says, goodbye, Christu. I love you.
There's no need for goodbyes. I'll always be here. And she puts her finger in on your chest. Not the way it was earlier.
Of course.
I love you too. As her finger stretches from your heart, there is almost a reaction as you feel your own chest like almost stuck to her finger, but you can see her begin to float away, and as she floats off towards the sunset behind the mountains. And as she fades, there is this feeling of maybe it's not the last time you've seen her. You're taken out of the vision back into the reality in front of you, and you watch as the Christu, her body, her eyes open in a flash, and she takes one last gasp. Eyes going blank.
Haru will lean over and just start sobbing as he kind of like cradles her head in his arms again. And just says, Christu, I'm so sorry. I hope you understood my decision.
You feel a paw rest on your shoulder that just kind of rubs your shoulder. No words are spoken, nothing is heard, but there's a sense of comfort that comes from it.
Haru looks over to Reginald and he says, thank you for giving me the chance to say goodbye.
You're very wise for your age. You've seen much darkness, and how short you've lived. And Reginald takes your paws, and clasps them similarly to Christu. Keep this as a keepsake. And it seems that somehow in this interaction, there is a lock of Christu's hair, just braided, not terribly long, but it says, "She will always be with you in a way."
He clutches the braid of fur, and he reaches down to tie it around the stone belt buckle he uses as the symbol of his family, and he pats Reginald on the shoulder before taking a deep breath, and he walks out of the clinic and starts making his way over to Crowis's house.
Okay. Before you leave, Reginald stops you one more time. And Paru,
Yes.
in your most desperate moments, a ring of the bell is but a short walk away.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sure you will.
Well, thank you. I must deliver the news to her husband.
Poke that bastard.
I didn't say I would deliver it nicely.
If I am one of any knowledge, he is likely to not be here. But should he indeed still be within the cityscape, I wish you luck.
Thank you. And then he continues walking away.
As Paru walks away to find Crowis, we go to Orchid, staying at the Midnight Amaryl. In your own private room, which is just off of the homestead, shall we say, or the estate of the Amaryl family itself, not even the inn, as you go to sleep, you begin to hear the rumble of thunder again. And at first you think, maybe this will keep you from sleeping, but then it comforts you. And as you fall asleep, you are sucked into another vision. The storm is raging around you. It's different this time. And you can see that the cobblestone streets stretch out in front of you. The streets are barren. You're in some kind of courtyard. And as you look around, you notice the Midnight Amaryl is behind you. Maybe not because you've ever seen it, but between feeling it and reading the obvious sign, you're able to put two and two together. As you look away, there is a hooded figure that's pointing to you. Cloaked, gaunt. They have this kind of short, dark, curly hair. And he looks to you in confusion. He tries to make noise, and he seemingly can't say anything physical to you. What would you like to do?
I want to go back inside.
Okay.
Like, I run from it, and I go back inside.
Okay. Are you averting your gaze from anything? Or are you just...
Wait, I'm turning around, and I'm going to slowly back away, then I'm turning around and running inside the Midnight Amaryl.
Okay. As you turn around, you catch sight of the ocean, and there is a large wave with a speck of a figure just standing on the waves. A hurricane, almost a tidal wave of sorts, is coming inwards towards the city. As you rush into the Midnight Amarillo, there is no one to be found. It is absolutely barren. No bartender, no person keeping the office at a late hour, just empty hallways back to your room.
Shut myself in my room.
Okay. As you do so, you hear a voice, which you, paying particular attention to voices, realize that this is the voice of Christu, just from the sheer tonality of her voice. And she says, "It's okay."
Do I hear it in this room?
I would say you're able to tell it's more in your head than anything else.
I'm still gonna get out of the room and I'm gonna try to run somewhere else.
Okay, where would you like to run?
First I'm gonna try to go into another room and lock it.
Okay. If you just go to the one next door, it is locked. Do you want to do anything to try and open it?
No, if it's locked, she'll run downstairs.
Okay.
And try to like lock herself in like the cellar.
Okay. You find your way to the cellar, and as you do so, you can see this is not just a cellar. This is a huge cellar,
Right.
full of all the wines. You know, years and years of aging have happened. And so as you hunker down in this space, you hear again, "It's okay. I understand."
I am running out of the cellar now.
Okay.
And I'm getting out of that building.
Okay.
I'm gonna run towards the ocean.
Okay. As you run towards the ocean, perhaps a wave of reprieve washes over you. This is very much your comfort zone. As the lightning strikes and thunder crashes, you find your panic attack being reduced to some degree. As you do so, you look out over the water and you can see what looks to be a woman standing over the water. Her features are very obscured through the flapping of various different cloaks, and she seems to almost be floating, whereas previous she looks like she was walking on the water itself. Her hair just billows behind, just buffeted by the winds, making quite a dramatic scene. As you are looking over this water, it is here that the vision ends, and you find yourself waking up in the wee hours of the morning.
I'm going to curl up and like put my hands over my ears.
Okay.
And try to block out sound.
Okay. You hear nothing. You're able to do so fairly effectively. Between the sheets and the covers and the pillows, you've drowned out the sound around you. Okay. Kadem, as you retire for the evening, you walk into your room after being led promptly, and not but 5 seconds, there's a woman who just kind of casually crawls in your window. Her skin tan, her hair undercut on one side and kind of feathered on the other. She's dressed in simple clothing, well made and durable, more of a practical sense than a stylish one. And she crosses her knees over each other and just sits on the windowsill. "Well, hello."
You're muted.
Well, you've certainly given me good cause to make sure my windows are locked at night now.
That's fine. I don't need to be here long. Just a message for you, should you wish to hear it.
Who would this message be from?
I think you know who it's from. You don't even need to ask.
What is this message?
Said person wants to know if you have any updates for them. Any plans for the near future. Are you going anywhere?
Nay, there is no plans of leaving the port. There is some business with a minor noble that is being handled. We'll see how that pans out. I plan to make a trip to his house tomorrow.
Well, I wish you luck. Meanwhile, I have to let them know to be very disappointed at the status of things so far. You sure there's nothing?
Nothing as of yet that I would like to report to them. They will have information I am very certain of soon.
All right. Well, don't presume I'll be in touch. I'm not often here, but pick up the occasional job.
I have my ways of contacting them if I need to.
I'm sure you do. And with that, she lets her back just fall out of the window, her legs flipping up over the side, and if you rush over to the window, you'll see her very agilely climbing down the wall of this estate.
He doesn't even bother. He just assumes that she's fine at this point. He just simply walks over to it and casts the fusion spell just to close his window.
Okay.
Semi-permanently, at least.
Yeah, it lasts for a short time.
Yeah.
All right, well, you are able to do that. Now we go to Antoine. As you and your father... Oh, okay.
One thing I want to do.
Yeah.
He will take the time and re-summon his familiar.
Okay.
As
Gotcha.
it got killed.
Absolutely. That way you don't have to do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sounds excellent. I love it. All right. With that, we get to Antoine. As you and your father hit the hay, sleeping for the evening, you find yourself... Oh, did I echo?
Yeah, you're echoing now.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get through this. You find Antoine, with you and your keen perception, if you will, you are woken up by the subtle flappings of a bird that seems to be flapping in your face to some degree.
I swat at it.
As you swat at it, you go, "Ah!" As your father begins to stir, but being a heavy sleeper that he is, doesn't wake. As you rest your eyes on it, you realize it's a crow or a raven, something like that. And there is a note tied to its leg.
I just roll my eyes and I just try and gently take the note off its legs, and I guess, yeah. That's all I'll do.
And
I'll turn light with my match, like a candle if there's, or like a lamp if there's one by the bed, but
you're able to do so as the lamp comes to life, allowing you to read this note, which is now a handout for you. For theatrical purposes, I shall read it aloud. To the man who hides in sight, beware the dead of night draws near, for bones will break as thunder cracks. They'll strike at right and wrong from fear. Listen to those we've lost, my friend. I hope the night still lies ahead, with tabby cats purring at our feet, and nothing with smiles on our faces.
Does the handwriting look familiar?
Make an investigation check. At advantage, for sure. Or you can take perception here.
That is a 20.
20. It does indeed look very, very familiar. Perhaps different in some ways, but not enough to warrant that you don't know who this was written by. More so just in perhaps a change of practice over time.
I look at my dad for a second and
He's sleeping.
I'll just stand up, get out a piece of paper, just write my dad a note that I had to check on something at the house, and then I'll get dressed and leave the room.
Okay.
Walk outside.
All right. As the morning rounds about for each of you, Paru, it is indeed morning, the time with everybody else. You are at one level of exhaustion between the events of the evening. Kadem, as you wake up, the first thing you notice outside is that the medical facility, which is fairly close to the inn itself, you watch Paru walk out and seem to head in a direction westward. Iklin, being the one with perhaps the best sleep, wakes up and I mean, you're going around. You see Paru outside. Actually, real quick, Iklin, is there anything you would like to do as you do wake up before anyone else without having something prepared for you?
Stretch. Big stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of enjoy the morning, not doing anything in particular. I know that we have to wait until, for some reason, for the inn and whatnot, and I'm not sure if work is up yet, so I'm just not doing anything.
Mike or Iklin and Antoine, you do also find notes slipped under your door, I should clarify, that say, please be there at 10 o'clock. Much thanks and gratitude.
I am not there. I left.
Okay. Well, you
help.
see that. I forgot to mention,
Okay.
you do see that note before you leave. But whether you heed it or not, up to you.
I leave.
Yeah.
Oh, 10 o'clock? Well, I think a nice brisk morning jog would be nice. I'm gonna go for a run on the beach.
Okay. Paru, as you step outside the medical facility, you see Iklin begin to walk off towards the beach. Kadem, you see both Iklin and Paru outside. What would the three of you like to do?
Paru's going to basically put his, paw up or hand up in just acknowledgement to let him know that he sees him, and he's just going to turn and start heading towards Crowis's mansion.
Oh. So I did notice both
Yes.
Paru and Antoine.
You can, yeah, you would see
Paru-
Antoine leaving, actually. Yeah.
Oh, Paru, my friend. You did not sleep outside, did you?
I didn't sleep.
No sleep? This is not good. You need rest, my friend.
Yes, I have some news to deliver first. Perhaps I'll rest after.
Well, you seem to be troubled, yeah? Make sure to eat good food before you rest. You need your strength. And I'll pat him on the shoulder.
He'll reciprocate, although it's a much weaker pat on the shoulder. Thank you, I will.
Be well, my friend. And he'll turn.
Sorry, I just noticed, where are you heading off to, Paru?
Christu didn't make it. I need to, well, I want to tell Crowis.
Roas is likely gone from the city. He knew what laws he was violating here, and he likely fled. Enchantment magic is not taken lightly here. At all.
Well, I will at least make sure that if he is here, he will not be here anymore.
Your friend has passed.
Yes.
Paru, I have to tell you, and I don't think I have to be the one to tell you, how idiotic of an idea that is. Everyone in this town knows of you and Crowis's past. If Crowis winds up dead, you are suspect number one. Especially with all the events that went on last night. Especially if Christu just died. You will not make it out of the city. The gods are too good at these simpler crimes. They will catch you.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
You still have life. It's your life.
He wouldn't even stay to make sure she was okay.
He is not your charge. You cannot atone. You cannot atone for the sins of some man who you owe nothing to.
He was not a... I mean, I don't think I need to tell you this. He was not a kind man. You do not need to feel sorrow for something he did. Something that was out of your control.
He just took everything from me. Everything that mattered.
And he should pay. But not like this. Especially so soon after. Everyone will look to you. And they will only look at you. regardless of what happens, you will go down.
I just don't know what to do then.
Make sure he can never come back. At least as Crows, anyway. Ruin his life, we can do. I can wish he wasn't Crows.
I think the best thing for you to do is to rest. Don't make rash decisions now. Get your mind right. It's your most important weapon.
Yes, you're both right. Don't know why I'm so... I guess I'm just so tired.
Come, let's get breakfast, and then you rest. Come. I'll kind of put my hand behind his back and, I don't know, look for a cafe.
I mean, the Midnight Amarillo hosts a very fine selection. Should you want to do that? Pardon me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Serena's Opal is also nearby. The Midnight Amarillo is right, like, it's dockside. That's one of its appeals, is that it has many, like, seaside views, which are more expensive. None of which you had, needless to say. Orchid did, though. Not that she would be able to see it. But, with that, there are a number of selections. Are you wanting to go somewhere new? In which case, some rolls need to be made.
No. Just cold breakfast would be good. Nothing.
Maybe we should just go where you stayed.
I'll guide him that direction.
Okay.
I mean, it's by his bed anyway, right? So, or a bed.
You guys are literally right next to this place, so it doesn't take you very long to just literally walk in the door. As you go to a table, a flustered waitress kind of comes in the morning. You realize she's one of the few women who are doing a service job here, but she comes up. All right, well, what can I get for you? What would you like this morning? We have switching into that Irish accent again. What can I get for you? We have grits, some eggs. We do really special mimosas, if you want.
Oh, good morning. It's good to see you. You look excellently wonderful this morning. Yes. My friend, he had the rough night. Do you have anything for help with the head?
Well, for you, sugar, anything.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
And she...
Thank you.
Sure thing. And she hops off and comes back a few moments later. Is there anything you all wish to do in the meantime?
No.
Okay.
Paru's just trying to stay conscious at the moment.
Okay. She comes back with a steaming, like you can see the steam just puffing off of the cup of coffee, the mug that she sets in front of you. She says, "Oh, I didn't even think about it. You might want tea. Do you like tea better?"
Whatever this is fine.
Wonderful. Well, I brought some cream and sugar just in case. And then, you know what? I didn't bring it full, but I do have a coffee pot here. Do you want me just to set the table for you three?
Would be nice.
Your courtesy is most appreciated.
Well, it's what you get for coming to Midnight Amarillo. And she kind of like rests her arm like on your chair. Like, you know, this is very much, if you've ever been to like a fine dining experience, and like the waiters are just overly friendly. Like they aren't shy of, you know, encouraging your bubble, provided they get that, you know, body language from you. But she is here to serve, and she is very attuned with what your needs might be. She looks to the rest of you. Do you all want me to start you off with some bacon this morning? Any English muffins? We have quite a selection. We do have an excellent vegetarian frittata, best in the city.
That sounds delightful. I'll take the how do you frittata? Frutotos.
Frittata. I gotcha. I'll be right back with it. You all don't worry. Just enjoy your coffee, and I'll bring some waters with me next time too.
Do you have any fresh caught fish from this morning?
Oh, yes.
Yes, fish and any kind of meat would be good.
I can see what I can do. Typically, we don't get our fish till around the lunchtime. Most meat isn't super common to dish, but I'll figure out what I can. I'll find something. I'll find something for you. And she heads off to go and find something for you. Meanwhile, Antoine, what are you doing?
I'm going back home.
Okay, you're okay.
Yeah, I'm going back to my house, and I am going to start packing my things in a bag. Yeah. Like packing all my changes of clothes and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Just getting ready to leave town. I don't like that note.
All right. You begin to pack everything up. Orchid, what are you doing?
Basically having a panic attack in my room.
Okay. You, after a while, you hear heavier footsteps in some kind of heel. Very articulate is something you can. Well, I guess you've covered your ears, so maybe you can't hear very well right now.
No, I'm pacing now, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. And there's a soft knock. Orchid, you okay in there? As you hear Emerald.
I'm fine.
Make a deception check.
Okay. Three.
I know you're lying.
Go
also-
away.
I know how you handle those nights that are loud and have lots of people, and I brought a second glass of wine.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, I'll just leave it outside your room for you, okay? There's a table to the left. Just be real careful, but there is a wine glass. It is non-shatterable. So don't you worry about that, but it is for you when you need it, all right?
I don't respond.
You can hear a sigh, perhaps like stifled in some, like attempting not to be heard, but it is nonetheless heard by you, as the heels begin to clop away from your direction.
Okay.
All right. All right, so Antoine, as you finish packing, and Paru, Iklin, and Kadam, as you finish your breakfast, you all are. Antoine, where are you going? Are you going north? Are you going to the docks? How are you planning to leave town here?
I'm definitely not going towards the dock because my dad would immediately know that I'm skipping town. So I'm going out on foot. There's a wagon or carriage or something. I'll look for that.
Okay.
Yeah. I go into the main town square to look for a way out of town that's not just on foot.
All right. As you search around, go ahead and make make an investigation check. 15. Okay. As you're going around, you eventually come across what seems to be a shorter Illithrin boy, somewhere 17, 18 years old, and looks to be dressed in like what a coachman would be dressed in. You're just kind of vaguely picking out this person, but he looks a little flustered. His glasses are kind of lopsided, and he's furiously writing notes. He's standing outside of the building that you would know to be Crow's apartment, simply from walking by it from the night that you were out. Actually, I guess that was last night for this session. And so he's just writing notes, and you can hear a feminine voice say, "Are you writing all this down? Very good, Charlie." Hi. As he just kind of looks up at you, towering above him.
Bonjour. I continue looking around for. Oh.
The reason this person sticks out to you is because there is a massive stagecoach next to him with plenty of room in the back.
Oh.
Did I leave that detail out?
Yeah. Maybe a little. Is this your carriage?
Well, it's currently in my charge. I'm working for the reporter, but she's really nice sometimes. If you need to write on it, I can ask her for you. Is there somewhere you're going?
I immediately turn to the woman. Is this your carriage?
Absolutely not. That was wrong. No. This miscreant is my assistant. Charlie here is trying to become a reporter, which is very ambitious for the young man that he is. Trying to make sure that his writing is up to par and all those things, aren't you, Charlie? And he kind of both seems a little insulted and blushes. There's some amount going there. It should be like she is far older than he is, and she says, "But he is my charge for the moment. How can I help you?"
Well, I was just wondering if this was your carriage. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Oh, you need a ride?
Yes, potential, but out of the city. I do not know if.
Oh, we can take you to the city. We just have to make it to one spot first, all right? We just drive by it, and then, whew, we out. You seem so interesting. Make an insight check. I bet you have so many stories.
That's 14.
Okay. She is legitimately offering. She does intend to stop someplace first, and
I'm trying to glean from my insight if this is like a short stop, like I'm grabbing something and then coming back inside, or like I'm gonna hang out for like a day or a few hours and then we'll leave. That kind of.
I would say a 14 doesn't get you that much information, but you are more than welcome to ask her. And maybe see if she's telling the truth. That might be a little bit more, that might be a little more helpful. Unless you're wanting to try and use your feature some way.
No. How long is this stop?
Oh, we'll be there maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15. Not a long stop at all.
Look at my. What time is it? I'm looking at my pocket watch. How
It's
early am I to use it?
yeah, pocket watch that would give you an actual time. It's about like 9:13.
Okay. I can wait.
Wonderful. We're just collecting a little bit of information over here, and then we'll just head on our way. I have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And she goes in the house. You can hear toppling of certain tables, papers ruffling as she exits moments later with her arms full of things and says, "Charlie, get the bag." And Charlie kind of comes over and holds out the bag, and it has this iridescent like brown leather bag, which is kind of odd to see iridescence in brown. But as he opens it, she like throws the papers in. This bag must be magic, because the amount of things she's shoving in there would not fit in this bag. And as he pulls the drawstrings tight, he ties it to his belt. She said, "All right, now make sure to watch that carefully, Charlie. We need to watch all our things very closely, especially in the city, right? In this part of the city, no doubt." And she gets into the wagon, and holds the door open for you. And
is it like just a wagon, or is it like a carriage sort of deal?
It's more carriagey. Like it's close.
Okay.
Like you're concealed. You're relatively concealed inside.
I'll put my case of my own pack and of stuff in the back, and then I will force my massive self into this normal-sized carriage.
You're able to do so. It's fairly spacious, not intended for a Goliath, but it's not bad. You're able to do so, and you kind of have to like hug your knees a little bit, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm guessing
awful.
I like take up the whole like bench side that I'm on.
Yeah, relatively. The other two are spotted very, very comfortably on the opposite side. For you, it's less of a width thing. Your shoulders are broad. It's more that you're having to like slightly duck. It's like getting in a car that's too short for you.
Yeah.
Very much that situation. And as you sit down and you set your case down, her eyes like a laser focus on your case, and she looks up. "Well, what's your name?"
My name is Juniper.
Wonderful. Now, Juniper, where are you headed? It's quite the pack you got there. You're packing light, I see, so you must be going. Am I right? Don't tell me I'm right.
Yes. No. It has been a while since I've been outside the city, so I want to get out. Change of scenery, if you will.
All right. Wonderful. Now, just a moment. I feel so far away from you. And she gets up and she like scooches on over and sits her butt next to yours. Now, would you say this is right? A tall, handsome Goliath man headed out of town for God knows what reason, but he has the gleam in his eye. And she just goes on and on and on, like holding her notepad to for your approval.
I like just like give like silent nods, and then when she goes back to writing, just like checking my pocket watch, see what time it is.
Okay.
And
what is your passive perception?
My passive perception. That's a great question. 14.
14. Okay. You notice that her feet kind of like try to like point towards you as she is really trying to engage with you, trying to read you as much as you've tried to read her. But nonetheless,
I'll stop her at a certain point. Just excuse me. Why all the questions?
I write stories for a
if-
living. You're
Oh,
interesting.
you
I
are
love
not
these
a-
marks. They're very flattering on you. Your cheekbones, they
Oh.
highlight them, you know.
Oh, I thank you. I thank you. So you are an author?
Of a sort.
What is of a sort? What do you mean by that?
You haven't heard of the Seaside Oracle?
Have I heard of the Seaside?
Oh yeah, the
Oracle?
Seaside Oracle is the lead newspaper in town.
Oh, so you're a reporter?
I'm the chief
Ah.
reporter. I go under a different alias. I go under several, but I'm in every single reporter, and 8 out of 10 times, and trust me, I've counted, I end up on the front page. So
Yes, I've read your papers before.
I have indeed. So I'm gathering information because you are interested, and I want everybody to know about you.
Okay.
We can talk on the ride. I'm just trying to get a starting point, if you will. But oh, would you look at that? We're about here. As she looks out the window, you guys are at the Midnight Amarillo. And outside, she says, just stay right here, or you can come with me. See the reporter in her action. At this point, it is 10 o'clock. So, important note for Paru, Kadam, and Iklin. Are you guys showing up to the docks?
Adam does not have to, but he will,
Okay.
just to follow Paru.
Nothing's happening, and so Iklin will do so.
Okay.
He doesn't really want to, but he feels
Obligated?
slightly obligated, even though he was kind of forced into it.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Paru will stay with Iklin and Kadam, since they were like very kind and supportive while he was kind of going through this shit. So
Alright.
he's going to stay with him.
I'm staying in the carriage, and I'm just gonna stare at the little kid that's across from me.
Okay. As she opens the door, she almost like opens it like very wide in this moment. And as she does so, you can see that she is going to meet Nyara Emerald, who is out there in a fine white dress that is dotted almost with like splatter paint. It's a new style that they're trying that's like, you know, splattering the dye over it to create kind of a watercolor experience. And she's walking over in her gown, and Nurse says, "Oh, it is so wonderful to see you," mwah, mwah, as they exchange kisses on each other's cheeks, and says, "Why don't you come right down this way with me, and I will show you exactly what we are up to at the Midnight Amarillo." And as she does so, her gaze shifts to you. "What you doing in that carriage?"
I do not shift eye contact from the boy.
"Oh, Goliath, I met you last night. You said you'd be there." "We had a deal. Come on, it'll take 10 minutes of your time. Why are you so cagey?" He's hiding something. You have no idea. As the two women exchange glances.
So why do you want to become a reporter?
Well, I've always liked stories and writing. Been very good at it. Was known for really good handwriting in school. Was kind of made fun of for it, but now I'm I'm trying to make it into a job. So thought I would study with the greatest reporter in town. And there's a grant that I got in order to apprentice under her. So I'm very grateful. This is an opportunity I wouldn't otherwise have. So very excited. How about you? Why are you headed out of town?
To maybe see an old friend. You like books, right? And I'm just going. He's going to just go through his bag, and he's going to get kind of the old book.
As you
Just like
as you try to go for your bag, it's gone.
I immediately look outside the carriage at the two women who are.
She is carrying your case like it's hers.
I would like my case back, please.
Oh, sugar, why don't you just come down with us and you can get it right back? I mean, you made a deal. You better keep good on your word.
The deal was, I wait in the carriage.
Not for me.
And
I'm
then
talking
we
about
go.
her. Do you not owe a woman to keep to your word?
I believe.
Very
that
shameful.
The deal, I believe that the deal was that I may come. Am I wrong in my words?
Fine. You want your case back? It's fine. And she throws your case with relative ease.
To me.
Yep. Charlie, why don't you come with us? Charlie says, okay. It was really nice to meet you, Goliath, sir. Juniper, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Quickly, I'll just hand him my favorite book that I've held on to.
Okay. He takes his book and says, oh. Wow.
This is a good
Thanks.
story. I don't know if you have read it yet, but
I don't think I have. Thank you. That means a lot. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you when I get back, I guess. Bye. And he kind of just like leaves the carriage awkwardly. As you're going through your bag, you realize both of your notes are gone. Anyways.
okay. I am going to watch until the three of them walk out of sight of the carriage, and then I'm going to leave out the other door of the carriage.
Okay. You let's shoot to Paru, Iklin, and Kadem. We've spent a lot of time with Antoine. Okay, so the three of you go down to the docks, and at this time, which is a little bit before, Nyara Amaryl leads you guys into kind of the there's like kind of an under cavern that's very organized, it's very well cut, very similar to dwarven craftsmanship, for those of you that would be familiar. Archways are very intricate, and there seems to be some sort of invisible arcane barrier that you reach this kind of circular room underneath that prevents the water from getting into this cavern. There are boxes and boxes of things. Just various workers. There's Goliaths here, there's half-elves, there's humans, there's tabaxi, pretty much every kind of person that is relatively common. There are even a few genasi here and there. All of them are fairly well muscled from being very physical laborers, and all of them are men, you notice. As you step into this area, she says, all right, so just wait over there and we'll be done in like 15 minutes. And she leaves very briefly. You two are left to your own devices, or three. What would you like to do?
What are we... what are we doing here again?
I followed you here. What did you agree to?
I offered to pay for a room. They said, no, I can't pay for the room. And then they said, instead, come here tomorrow at 10, and it's pays for your room. But I wanted to pay.
Can I tell at all what they're moving?
Seems to be mostly what's the word? I mean, they're boxes of stuff. This is probably taking in a shipment, as far as you can glean. This is a port city, so this is probably where a lot of the shipments are stored until they can be appropriately taken, sorted, and stored, if that makes sense, to whichever, whoever bought whatever material is in the box.
Like a warehouse.
Yes,
it's really underground.
Yeah, it's an underground warehouse of sorts, and you can see like there are a few like large and kind of like shallow stairs that just climb upwards, presumably to the docks themselves, or just adjacent to them, perhaps, so that storage can be kept down here, out of sight. It's less it's less of a hazard to be stolen here. It's heavily guarded. This functions as a warehouse or a universal warehouse between the businesses, essentially.
I guess, are you supposed to help with the moving? Who is contracted you for this work?
Hey! Why don't you come help me over here? There's what looks to be a Goliath, maybe more giant than human, who comes over to you guys, and he says, all right, are you my workers for this morning?
No.
Everyone here's a worker. Get your ass over here. And
What if I don't have one of those?
you have an ass.
That's your opinion.
We're just waiting.
What can I say? I pay attention. Anyways, I need you to move those boxes from there to there. Got it? Super simple.
Is that it?
We will wait for you to finish this.
What?
You got the muscles for it. Come on. What's your problem?
I was told to just show up. I didn't have to do anything.
So you're gonna let all these men over here be working hard while you're over here on your ass?
Well, if they're on the ship for the last 4 months, doing nothing but hauling boxes, I would say they deserve a break too.
All in due time, not until 11 o'clock.
This was only supposed to take 10 minutes, I thought.
You don't have to be here for the whole time, they do.
What's in the boxes?
Wine.
Whose wine?
Several? Multiple people's? Fucking weirdos. Goes off and starts stacking boxes.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm not stacking these boxes.
Um,
Got
This
him.
is super sketchy.
As this finishes up, Kata, make an investigation check, and while you're working on that, you hear Nyara's voice float down the stairways as she descends. And this is where we do all of our masculine employing. And she takes a look. We make sure to put extra effort into employing the men in our business because we realize that there is an unfair wage gap. So we take extra precautions to make sure that people have jobs, right? So, as you can see, we employ so many men here, and it does tax us some on, money that we run for the business, but you know what? That's just out of the goodness of our heart. We're basically a non-profit. And she just goes on and on and on as, the person is writing down everything very furiously.
And Paru see them like up above.
Yes, you can. these are some new recruits. They're thinking about, they're very on the fence. But, we're always willing to give people, even if they're not sure, we like to give people an opportunity to see what real hard work is.
Yes, and they also provide us with free housing.
Yeah, of course we do.
To all employees for a decent wage.
Absolutely. We really work hard here to make sure everyone is treated as fairly and as pleasantly as possible.
And of course, you should see their dining facilities. We get an excellent discount.
Yes, it's so wonderful to work for us, but we do have a limit. We are doing our best to hire more and more people, but there is a threshold that we have to pay attention to. We're governed by the laws of reality. To hire people, based off of that would, too many people, it's just too emotional. We can't do that here, but we are happy to do what we can.
I'm going to eye her knowingly.
Paru's just like standing there like, the fuck am I supposed to do?
She walks past you eventually, and the lady kind of looks at all of you. And she writes down some extra notes, taking pause at each of you.
Is this the
Is she
same?
handwriting these notes, or is this like a Fabrial that she's using?
That is an excellent observation, and without too much effort, it is a Fabrial. She has her hand on it, but every so often, she takes her hand off of it and kind of rests it on her hip, and it writes on its own.
Sorry, go ahead.
Whether or not the ink that Fabrial writes with is magical also.
You can make an Arcana check.
You also had me make an investigation check before, and I got 15. 15.
The woman who showed up to your window the previous night, you found her kind of ducking in, and she's very, very well hidden. In fact, she almost seemed to vanish into thin air. It's kind of hard to tell. She was at a corner, and then like somebody walked by, and then she wasn't there anymore, and you're not sure if she ducked behind or turned invisible or something like that. But she was there, and she was noticeable to you because of your keen eyes, and also because she's the only woman, other than Amaryl and the reporter.
For an Arcana check, I got a 19, I believe. Yes, 19.
Okay.
This reporter is looking at us, right? And as we're just kind of standing there.
Yes.
All right.
Reporter that we saw last night.
Yes, she is.
Icklin is going to accidentally drop his very large money pouch on the ground in front of her. Oh no, I wasn't supposed to drop that. I'm sorry. I'll pick it back up and kind of
Such
put it well
generous earnings. Isn't she just a peach?
Yes. And I've only worked here for a day.
Make a deception check.
We didn't have to pay for food either.
What is your deception?
17.
She got a natural 18, and she has a high insight. She looks at you and says,
It's just gonna sneak on off.
Make a stealth check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yep. Paru, what are you doing?
Paru will just look at her and say, weren't you there when Christu got attacked last night?
Who are you talking to?
To the reporter.
Oh. Yes. And you can see her like entire facial expression just washes over, like just completely changing character. It was such a sorrowful night. And I was very respectful in the notes that I sent to the Seaside Oracle about it. You trust me You don't need to worry about anything, about words getting out or anything like that. Justice will be served through the pen and paper.
May I ask what those notes entail?
It's a long story, and kind of, part of our arrangement is I don't reveal anything before it comes out.
Well, that is too bad. I might have had some information, but I see that you're in a rush.
Make a persuasion or deception check.
That is a 3 persuasion.
It was... That is so sweet of you to be thinking of the public's need for knowledge. But I think I got a good handle on what was going on. I met with the doctor last night too. And I think I have a good grasp on what happened. But you were so sweet. And she pats you on the shoulder.
Did Paru see her at the clinic?
No. You didn't. You were tired. If she was there, you did not see her.
He is going. Can I make an insight to see if she's telling the truth about speak with the doctor?
Yeah.
Jesus. Natural 1 for 6.
Oof. Hard to read. Can't tell.
Exhaustion's a bitch.
Yeah. Gosh, that wasn't even with disadvantage. Forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. Haru just... He's not going to do any work since he wasn't told to do any work. So he's just going to stand there. Make this whole facade look even more suspicious.
And as they start walking away, Nyara kind of looks over at the three of you and gives you a wink, as if to say, "You can leave now."
I didn't want to be here in the first place.
As she goes off, you hear the reporter saying, "It's so nice of you to take that Tabaxian. He seems a little misplaced, if you know what I mean." And just goes on writing and writing. With that, back to Antoine. As you are sitting there alone, you take a quick look, make a perception check to make sure no one's watching.
That's great. Six.
Sorry? 6. Doesn't seem like anyone is watching you.
Great. I'm going to walk out the other side of the carriage and go back into the establishment and go to see my dad to make sure he's okay.
As soon as you walk in, your dad is like gulping down, like absolutely draining a cup of coffee, and he the bag's under his eyes and is looking at the note in his hand and just says, my boy, what?
I see you had a interesting night. You feeling okay under the head?
I am fine. You left with a note? I just got to town.
I had to go check on something. Papa, you know I would not leave you unless I had to. Papa.
I was really looking forward to spending a little bit more time with you.
Well, we will be able to spend some time together. I'm going to sit down and try and have like breakfast with him. But while I am sitting with him, I'm definitely like doing my makeup so that my face tattoos look kind of more like I have like more lines and stuff, and I look like a generic other Goliath.
Okay. Yeah.
as opposed to myself.
You're able to do so. Go ahead and roll that disguise check. With that, your father is drinking his coffee and says, "You keep that pocket watch on you, right?"
Sure, Papa.
What time is it? Tell your papa.
It's a little past the 10.
Little shit. I was supposed to be. You were supposed to. We both were supposed to be down at the docks. We should probably get headed.
No. It is not very important.
Make a persuasion check.
Bullshit. Oh wait, persuasion. Oh, I'm really good at that. That's not a good roll though. 18.
Alright.
It is just some bullshit with the reporter doing some op-ed in the paper.
Hate the public news. Always
garbage.
inaccurate. What do you have planned for?
do today? Do you have any things you would like to see?
He kind of sits there and he sets his coffee cup down, which is now empty, and just kind of clasps the mug in both hands with thumbs rising up on the side and thought, what was that note?
That's as I said. I had to go check on something at the house.
Amaran. You changed. I was trying to give you your privacy, but you make your father worry.
But you have no reason to worry about me. I mean, look where we are now. We have survived struggle after struggle. We are okay.
Amaran, even if you won't say it out loud, I can see something is bothering you. Just tell your papa.
If something was bothering me, I would let you know in a heartbeat, Papa.
Kind of sits back, and looks over at the bar. Kind of leans back in very, very closely. Is it about that boy?
Are you kidding me right now?
Nadine is very perceptive.
Nadine passed away a few years ago, Papa.
We had several conversations. And also was something there. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not
Papa.
like everyone else.
Papa, that is water under the bridge. Okay?
Make a check. Whatever that check may be. So deception or persuasion here.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Just promise me you'll tell me.
Papa, I'm just gonna clasp his hands. Papa, I promise. If something was the matter, you would be the first to know.
Kind of relaxes in his chair.
If he has any food left on his plate, like bacon or anything, I'll just take a piece and eat it.
He's almost indifferent, which is a little out of character. But he slaps you on the shoulder a little bit playfully and says, "All right, well, What are we doing here?
I don't know. You tell me. Where are we going?
That is a question for you. You're the one leaving. Where are we going?
I already left. I came back. I told you I was just going back to the house, and now I'm back here. Where are we going? But
And
man,
with-
did you read the note?
Ah, well, it seemed a bit more ominous. You don't do notes. This is not your thing. You're a great writer, great reader, but
How about we have a little more coffee together, and then we will figure it out. And I'll order 2 more coffees for the table.
and he raises his mug to you. Meanwhile, Iklin, Kadam, and Paru, what are you doing as you leave this space? Or do you leave this space?
I'm leaving.
Yes, we're leaving.
Yes, we're leaving.
Yeah.
What a response. Okay.
We could take some time if you wanted to perhaps grab Orchid. I don't know where she's been at this morning, but
She's
we could head off to Kroos' house. Maybe some of Christo's belongings are still there, if you want to do that.
right. Perhaps we should get. Perhaps we should get Orchid.
Yes, I'm worried about her as well.
What did you say, Paru?
I am worried about her as well.
Okay. As you all head out, you make your way back to the Midnight Amaryl. As you know, she's there, but you do not know what room she's in, and so how do you want to treat that situation? As you walk in, you do see Antoine, who seems to be drinking coffee with his father.
He'll just kind of look over to Iklin and Kaden, who seems to be a little bit more savvy with these situations, so he's just going to kind of stand back and watch.
I don't really know Antoine, so I'll just kind of eye him, make eye contact, and see a reaction.
I
Oh,
glance at you.
I'm sorry, that's my bad. He is a Goliath. He does not look like Antoine in the face, but he's wearing the same clothes.
I eye him
Rice.
and make eye contact with him.
I make eye contact, and then I go back to talking to my father.
I go to the receptionist.
Do I recognize him through his disguise?
What was the roll that you made on your disguise check, Antoine?
18.
18. So go ahead and make an investigation check contesting that.
Well-
Natural 19.
Oh.
That's like a 25.
Okay. I want to take a moment for this because you do realize it's Antoine. However, the way in which he has applied his makeup is so well done, it doesn't look like makeup. Like this is very, very this is somebody who's very, very good at this. And though you might not, as an Aarakocra, pay particular attention to it, it takes you several moments, even with that high roll, to like really go, wait a second, hold on, cheekbone, yeah, cheekbone's in the right place, yeah, nose structure's right, but like other facial features, it's very well disguised. So
Do we also recognize his father? He looks the same from last night, right?
yeah, he looks a little gruff, maybe a little bit of a hangover, most likely. But yeah, he looks very, very similar. As you look over to these individuals, your father goes, "Are they friends of yours? Should we invite them to the table? We can put up a second one."
No. I have worked with them once. They are nice acquaintances. If you would like, we can talk to them. I might take a different voice. I've been working on my accents, you know.
All right, we'll have to hear it. They look a little busy. Maybe when they come back down.
Maybe.
They look like they're on a mission. We won't bother them for now.
Eklund, I will leave finding Orchid to you. You know her far better than I do, so I will leave that task to you.
Yeah.
Iklin, you go to the receptionist, who is a woman who is dressed very, very finely, and she's abnormally thin by cultural standards, and she kind of looks up and with a very tall posture presents herself and says, "All right, well, what is the case, sir?"
Pardon me. I'm looking for my friend, Orchid. She told us to meet us here,
Orchid.
but I don't know her room.
You're talking about the personal charge of the Amarillo estate. You know that, right?
No.
What does she mean?
You'll
I
have to
don't-
talk to an Amarillo to get to Orchid. She's
Right.
in their estate. She has a room with the family.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. We'll adjust accordingly. And I'll kind of like bow slightly, I guess. I don't know.
Are all of you wearing your collars?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not. Yeah. Paru doesn't really have a collar that he wears.
I don't think I would have a collar that I wear.
It would be physically hard. For both of you, there would be some amount of, just in general, people are going to treat you with a little less respect because you're not wearing one. But it's not like people aren't going to pull you off the side and be like, "Put on your collar." Well, some might, but
Paru's used to that treatment anyways.
We're not in that side of town yet.
no. No, you're not. This is actually kind of chill. It's fancy, but this is a chiller part of town.
Well,
Turn around.
I guess we will have to wait for Orchid to find us.
Or we could go outside and walk over to the building.
that's worth.
Unless Orchid is going to come out of those premises, I doubt she'll be going into them.
No. The estate.
Yes.
Outside the hotel.
Yes.
Oh, she's in there. Let's
Yes.
go ask her.
But unless she's coming out of those residents, I doubt you're going in without a personal invitation from that family.
Well, I've walked around town with Orchid. Maybe she has told them about me.
Maybe. You can ask, but I wouldn't try going in.
Oh, hold on. Let's try this the nice way first. Let's go to the gate.
And just before we leave, he'll walk over to the table, and he'll just walk over to Anton. And he'll just say, "If you get a chance before you leave, I would like to discuss a matter with you before you head out, if you don't mind. I will be back here shortly, hopefully."
Do I know you?
Yes, I believe you do. He just walks away, doesn't say anything.
Looks like your accent didn't throw him off. It's good though.
Well,
You guys hear his father say this very loudly.
Well, he is someone that I do not know very well. So. And I'll just go back to drinking my coffee.
Hey,
Alright.
who is that?
As he looks at you, he says, "You know, it's our greatest friends who can see who we really are beneath the mask."
Who taught you that one?
Ah, some drunk sailor.
That makes sense.
With that, the three of you are. What are you doing exactly?
Going to the gate.
Okay. As you leave the Midnight Emerald and you wind your way around, you realize that the two buildings, though they are separate, they are connected. So there is a back way in between the estate and the inn / tavern / restaurant. You know, it's a full thing. However, as you do so, I want each of you to make a perception or investigation check of your choice.
Nope, not even.
Oh, wow.
All bad rolls.
With
That's
disadvantage, I
fine.
got another natural one.
Oof.
Well, actually, I could use my inspiration and take an. Nah, I'll just keep the one.
Okay.
I'll keep the one.
You have a natural one, so we have two natural ones. Kaden, what'd you get?
Natural 2.
Oh,
Jeez.
you guys are looking, and it just seems like there's guards everywhere. You can't get by them. You're looking in the windows for Orchid. She's nowhere to be seen. You're at this for about an hour. So, while you're searching very poorly, Orchid, is there anything you would like to do as the day
Panic.
stretches on? Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw. But
24.
24. You are you do not panic, but you are processing at kind of a lightning fast speed. However, I assume your paces increase. You spend time doing
Super
this.
anxiety. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
We love anxiety. As you spend some time kind of processing, and after maybe perhaps talking yourself down or coping however you do, you can hear the exclamations of Paru, Iklin, and Kadam outside. Some amount of "where is she?" or "I can't see," and like, "I can't find anything," amongst other things said between the three of them.
I sit
Just
down
the
on the
Three
floor and I put
Stooges
the
outside.
pillow over my ears.
Okay. As you do so, you experience almost a chill as you feel a familiar hand like just gently touch your back and release quickly, and while you don't intentionally look, for whatever reason, out of the corner of your eye, in the midst of the blackness, you can see the spirit of your grandmother as she sits down next to you. All right, well, you're gonna stay in here?
You're not real.
Oh, don't be. Oh, Australian's hard. Don't be like that.
I don't hear you.
Well, we both know that's a lie. The rain is free. It wanders about. Fallen from clouds at its own well? Oh, this is so bad. I'm sorry. This will be homework for me.
I do not hear her. I have my pillow over my ears.
The pillow seems not to affect her words.
Doesn't matter. I'm ignoring.
I can't make you do anything, but there's something special about these people who've come to you. Take it as an old wives' tale or some crazy shit, but for what it counts, I think there's substance to be had.
Go away.
If that's what you really want.
Said leave me alone.
No response.
I lay on the floor.
I want Kaden, Paru, and Eklund to make a persuasion check. Or, perception.
Perception? Come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls.
17.
Wow, that was actually decent. 16. Oh no, perception 17.
Paru?
Baru.
12.
12. Eklund, you, and only you, hear
Yeah.
Orchid say, leave me alone.
Ears hone in and zoom into the direction of where it was. Masona.
And I see his ears just twitching.
Alright, I would say you're able to tell the general direction. You can start walking that direction. There are guards, so you will have to figure out how to deal with them, but...
I'll adjust myself, act like I own the place, and I'll start walking casually past the guards.
No.
Excuse me, sir, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just looking for my friend. She said to meet her here.
Why don't you
is it
just step on back? This is a private estate.
Right. So can I come in?
It's not your estate now, is it?
I know, that's, you said it's private, so I'm asking permission to come in.
We just guard it. You'll have to take that up with the Amarillo family.
You're not of the family.
Of course not. We're the guards. We protect the
guard.
family.
You protect the family. Yes. My friend Orchid told me I'm visiting her. I'm on vacation, and I'd like to spend my vacation well. I'm sure you understand vacations, yes? Yes. Yeah?
I think
I
you've
just
had
go
too much to
over
drink. It's a little early for day drinking, don't you think?
I go over and put my hand on his shoulder and just turn him around. Like, no.
Hold on, I'm having a
No?
discussion with these fine gentlemen. Now,
No.
now you tell me, where could I speak to someone so I could visit this fine facility?
As you look around, there is a gentleman who seems to come out of the door and look to you. Oh! Hi!
Hello!
You worked with my wife.
Perhaps. Which one is your wife?
Nyara Amaral?
Yes, we were bred.
Not a good choice of words there.
We were hired not knowing what to do. She let us sleep in this fine place. It's very beautiful.
Yes.
You have great wine.
You're
Far superior to your competitors. I actually advertised it very much last night.
make a deception check.
I did.
You advertised Estrathello. You advertised the wrong wine company.
Family there, son.
Crap.
I
McCaskill.
made sure to take notes of which wine you were boasting about.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check
To
against
be fair, he
yourself
was
as
pretty
well.
drunk.
Can I
I'm
persuade
telling the truth.
myself to believe my own bullshit?
I'm gonna pull my inspiration for the day on this one. Just
Okay.
saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I self-delude
That's
myself?
an 8 still.
Powerful use of
Actually, it's perception because I'm pretty sure I believed I was advertising for these people. It's not
No,
deception.
it's deception.
I truly believe.
You literally said Estrathello like 8 times last session, or the session before.
He was also highly intoxicated. He doesn't know what he said this morning.
Tell you what, you can roll a wisdom save to forget. And if you get like a really high, like a 17 or higher, maybe I'll let you forget which wine you advertised.
Wouldn't it be better if I failed my wisdom save?
We're going for the benefit. We're going for higher
God
number
damn it.
benefits you.
14. Dang it.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, no, Amaral. Shit. I
No.
advertised for the other one.
I apologize. It is incorrect.
Paru
I did
is
not advertise for you last night. I apologize. But you do have good wine.
Right.
Paru's going to kind of find a quiet spot just where no one's looking, and he's going to shapeshift using one of his wild shapes into a puppy.
Okay.
Oroko, kill.
All right.
And as a little like boxer puppy, we'll say, he'll like waddle up over to Icklin and roll on his back between him and the guard.
Oh, precious.
Make. Oh
I'll pick up
gosh.
the dog and scratch his belly with one hand.
Cuteness check.
Oh gosh, what would this be? Do you have a stat block for a puppy by chance?
I do not.
I'm gonna give them a 13 charisma because we don't have one. So I need you to roll
Only
a.
a 13.
Only a
Oh wait, no, it's
13.
Paru's charisma. He keeps his charisma because it's druidic. It's druidic.
Well,
So
I think that it's. Oh yeah, you're right.
make
Yeah, that's
make a
unfortunate.
charisma. Make a performance check. Make
Oh,
a performance
God.
check with advantage. You're gonna get advantage for this for sure.
How good of a
And
puppy are
I'm
you?
gonna give you advantage, double advantage, allowing you to surpass your exhaustion.
Just
So
note
it will
that,
actually be advantage, not just a straight roll.
Are
a
you a
mastiff,
good
according to
boy?
the D&D stuff, only has a charisma of 7.
Yeah, that's what I just looked it up.
Yeah.
As
15.
well.
Oh wait, that was 15.
Okay. As you do so, is there any particular goal you are trying to accomplish with this?
Well, this may be a little meta. I was hoping Icklin would pick up on the fact that he had
I
a puppy
know.
to say like,
Mm.
"Oh, I have this puppy I was going to bring to her," and yeah.
I picked up. I was thinking
You're
about
like,
doing
oh,
that.
it's a
Puppy, you
Oh,
he just
nice.
picked
You
you up.
pretty. Oh,
Just,
precious, precious.
if
Alright,
any-
what
sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
what
if
were
it-
you saying?
hoping
'Cause
to,
I'm going to continue our script.
if he's not going to like say anything specific about bringing the puppy over, he would just try to look as cute as possible to just get this person in a good enough mood to maybe soften up and and be like, "Yeah, come on in."
The guard is steely faced. They are trained, you know, but they soften a bit. And the husband of Nyara kind of comes over and scratches the dog a little bit. So I heard you were you're looking for Orchid. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, she is an old friend of mine for the past 3 years. When I come in from the sea, we eat and we share time together. I'm on vacation. I'm here to see her. I came in yesterday. We spent most of the festival together last night. It was a good time. But she came home before she left before me, and I stayed over here, and I'm trying to find where she is. I'm slightly concerned about her well-being, wherever she may be.
And to just kind of like add to it for effect, Paru and his little puppy, he's doing that really excited puppy like wagging where like the entire body's shaking, and he'll like roll over and like lick the guy's hands and stuff and just try to add on the cuteness.
Oh, you're so cute. It gives you like ear scratches. As you do this, Iklin, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion. Ugh.
Whew.
4.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a 1.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Lucky for you, the guard is not convinced, but the husband is maybe a little bit more lenient. Says, well, if you're really just looking for Orchid, we've been kind of worried about her, and maybe we could let one of you in to talk with her.
Great.
You'll have to
Hold
leave
my
your
dog.
weapons. You'll have to leave your weapons here,
I carry
with the
none.
guards.
Great. Hold my dog.
and I'll
give the
need a guard to escort you, who will be
Oh.
wearing weapons.
Right. So do you want the dog or the other guard want the dog?
I'll take the dog.
Hey, you take the dog. Very nice. He likes you. You see? He licks your face.
Oh,
He'll lick the face.
Fantastic.
Scratches
Anyway,
you.
oh, you're taking me inside.
Yes.
Good man. Yes. I'll slap him on the back. Good man. What's your name?
Don't touch me. All right.
Okay. Fine. Let's do this.
This is a new height for a lot of miscreants, but whatever. And he kind of leads you through the
Miscreants?
hallways.
Miscreants, maybe, but happy miscreants we are. Let's go.
The worst kind. And he leads you down the path, down the hallways, which are fairly intricate. It is gorgeous in here, and you imagine you could take some time just admiring the architecture and the interior design. That being said, you eventually make your way to a door, and he says, "This is Orchid's room. Don't do anything funny."
I don't find myself to whom you don't you ignore my words. Anyway, knock, knock, knock. I knock in an accent.
I knock it
I
off.
imagine that Iglin just said knock as he knocked too, but he said it louder than the actual knock, so just knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Orchid. Orchid, are you home? Are you there? Are you home?
Please go away.
Ha! I found you. I mean, please come out.
Please leave me be.
We could go fishing.
I don't want to go fishing.
We we could go experience the ocean breeze together.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna look at the guard. We could go explore a house very much legally.
I don't even know what you're saying. Please go away, Iglin.
Oh, I've been at sea for 3 months, and I came to see you. I mean, I'm in town to spend time with you, and when you, my dear friend, are unwell, it brings me pain.
Not a good time, Iglin.
Well, I really wish there's more I could do. But I'd like you to come out and be with me, spend time with me. That may be a selfish request, but I miss your companionship. And being not at sea, but in the air for 4 months is a long time with people you don't consider friends. So, I will respect your wishes, but I very much would like to see you, and that we may spend time together. I'll be heading to that one noble's estate. I don't remember his name. I'm not very good with the politics. You know the one. We're going to that estate. Apparently, Padu's wife or wife-to-be has passed, and there are things to take care of. So that's where we're going. I would love to see you there. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it. I'll kind of turn to the guard and say that I think that's all I have to say.
You can see that there's a little bit more softness to him now, but he leads you out to the rest of the group. And as you all reconvene, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in a bit.
Right.
See you in a bit, guys.
and we're back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh boy.
All right. So, as we continue on, I believe we had Paru, Iklin, and Kadim returning to the dining room, shall we say. Orchid left to process, and Antoine still dining or breakfasting with his father. What would you all like to do?
Once they're out of sight of the guards, Paru will shift back into his backsy form with the rest of the group.
What?
I mean, are they actually going to leave you alone?
Yeah, I mean, this is assuming that they actually let Paru down. If not, then the wild shape only lasts for an hour, and then this would be a very awkward conversation that Paru would have to try to talk himself out of.
Pee on them.
Be a
They'll put you down.
misdemeanor in some societies.
I'm not a tabaxi that turns into a dog. I'm a dog who turned into a tabaxi.
Oh my gosh.
You must understand, I'm a magical dog.
Iklin, what do you do? Do you keep the dog in your arms?
Yes, I'm holding the dog
Okay.
with me.
As you're holding the dog, the spell times out, and as you kind of like walk into, you're petting your dog and giving him scritches behind the ear. All of a sudden, in your arms, just Paru just spills out of the dog's body almost into your arms.
What? Well, this is unexpected.
Paru just kind of quickly pushed himself off and brushed himself off. And
Would you like me to put you down? You are very light.
yes,
If I toss you, will you land on your feet?
No.
Paru is just going to give like a jerk.
I'll put Paru down.
Okay.
Brush himself off. Thank you.
You're well.
Where's Orchid?
Orchid is processing a few things. It's maybe best if we proceed without her. At the moment, she knows where we're going. She may join us later.
Very well. Okay. Kaden, there was that gentleman that you were speaking to at the Emerald. Do you need to speak with him again?
You're a little quiet, David.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble hearing you.
It could just be your mic position, maybe. I don't know.
Is that any better?
It's still a little soft.
Any better? Any better? Any better?
There you
There
go.
it is.
Okay. All right. I just have to
Oh,
be
that
eating
was
the mic
beautiful.
apparently.
Nice.
That is beautiful.
It is
There's
quite
sound.
delectable.
All right.
I hear it's got some good calories in it.
Apparently, yeah. I'm
Very,
just gonna have to
very
feast
good.
on mic.
Guys, we've
on
got
this
you
mic,
high
not on
quality
mic.
audio here. Very high tech out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Super.
Okay, my apologies. So, Pardu is going to look over to Kaden. So, do we need to speak to that gentleman back at the Midnight Emerald that you were speaking to before?
I think we can tie him into this as well. Or convince him of his services, at the very least. I'll go talk to him. And I'll skitter on over to the restaurant at the Midnight Emerald.
Okay. So you make your way into the restaurant. I mean, you guys are already kind of in the restaurant, so.
Oh, are we? I didn't
Yeah.
realize we actually made it back.
Yep. Antoine's sitting
go
there
over.
still eating. Or not Antoine. Depending on who you are.
I'll go over to him and I'll just be like, do you have a minute, or are you still dining with your father?
This is just a friend.
Uh-huh.
He is right. I am just a friend of his. We go back a very long time.
Oh, really? And how do you two know each other?
Well, yes, of course, the docks. That is where we met. Upon the Lucky Saint.
Do you have some time to discuss, or are you still busy?
You wanting to discuss things?
I didn't know if you wished to discuss them in front of your father or not.
Weird that a shady character would just come up to a friend of two sailors and start talking about weird conversations.
I'm a weird conversation. I just wish to continue our conversation that we had the other night.
What conversation?
Just our prior business. Unless you want me to bring up...
I have never done business with you. If you like, I can do some business with you later.
All right.
I'm going to go check our room and be back in a moment for you, friend.
Thank you. It's very nice to meet you. What was your name again? I missed it.
You're talking to me?
Yeah,
My name is Zirab.
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 Zirab, sorry. It's nice to meet you, Zirab.
It is a pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
Kella.
Kella.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Kella. I imagine I will be running into you sometime later.
It would be a pleasure.
And he kind of slowly backs up and goes to his room, almost like staged marching. Like he's trying to perform his part, and it's very obvious.
I'm like holding in a laugh. I still don't know you, so I don't know what kind of conversation you want to have.
I mean, we've already met. You can keep up this spurs all you want. Antoine.
Not my name.
Okay, who are you talking to?
It will be fine. I'm just trying to get through to a stubborn mule.
Well, the best way to get to Goliath's heart is to beat him in the arm wrestling contest, especially if he says he is a sailor. It's the best way we do on the ship. Therefore, we should wrestle our arms. Yes?
I am fine with that.
You ready?
All right. Let's see contesting athletics checks.
Bring it on.
Totally gonna lose this.
He's naturally strong, but he's not really
I'm
trained.
not actually that weak. So, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Athletics?
Yep.
Yeah, hold on.
19.
Oh.
Wow, you beat my passive athletics. All right, so let's see. 17. You actually beat me.
The fight goes back and forth, and the not Antoine pushes Icklin's arm into a point where there's pressure applied, and you can't keep it up, and all of a sudden, it hits the table.
I rolled a 9, by the way.
Yeah, I rolled a 15.
he sweating at all because of this?
Make a did you apply like a powder or anything so it doesn't fall off with sweat?
I just did the line work.
Okay.
Antoine, your hand is cold, by the way.
A little weird.
Paru looks over to this person who's denying he's Antoine. He says, "Look, the person you were having a meal with, I believe he knows Antoine as well. Since you're not Antoine, maybe you can deliver a message that Paru was looking for him. Christu, his the woman I was looking for, did not make it. And so he does not have to investigate her anymore."
Right. If I see a bloke named Antoine, I'll let him know. You look tired. Are you okay?
No.
Look a little baggy under the eyes.
No.
Right.
You're sure this is the person? Looking at both of them.
You know,
Name's Mitchell.
maybe I'm.
All right.
Mitchell.
So, make a deception check at advantage. Kadum knows, but Paru and Iglin, you may make insight checks against his advantage deception.
I'm just believing.
That's not very good.
If you want.
Now, with disadvantage, I got 20.
Wow.
It can believe
I
you.
got a what is it? Deception.
Deception.
That's a that's a 16.
Paru, you just barely notice that some of the makeup is kind of like melting off. Like there's like a bead of sweat, and most of it's intact. Like it's only because you're just kind of looking and like you happen to find it, but it's like a little bit of the makeup is falling off, and you go, "Wait, I think this might be Antoine." Iklin, you believe him. You said so yourself.
I believe him.
So
I'm just gonna believe him. I don't.
I'm Mitchell.
Mitchell. It's nice to meet you. You apparently.
What's your name?
My name is Iklin. Iklin Frost.
Eagle.
Yes. So
Where's that from?
I am from Nildon.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Nildon.
Oh, that's way up north there, ain't it?
Yes. It's faster to go northeast, northwest actually, but it's north right away. But it seems my competitors think that you're the person we're looking for. So, if we could have your services in investigating a building, that'd be fantastic.
All right, what do I get out of it?
Yeah.
He paid out of the possessions of the house.
So you guys are breaking into a house.
We're breaking into a house.
No, not just remnants. We're just collecting the items that are left over from Paru's wife passing and the person leaving the house to fall into disrepair.
You can
So
think of
you
it
guys
as
are robbing an empty house.
No one's going to be coming back for them ever.
I believe the estate belongs to Paru at this point. Right? So I don't think...
It may at this point. Law gets complicated here. I do not want to deal with it. If you have any reservations against this, maybe you're not the person we were looking for. Either way, you seem to maybe know of Antoine. Just let him know that I was looking for him. Maybe he could help me do some training is all. He seems to have a wide set of skills. Could be useful to learn from him. That's all. But you do not seem to be him. So we will leave you to your dinner with your father.
It's not even 11 in the morning. You know that, right? I literally pull out my pocket watch and show him the time. It's not even noon yet.
As
yes, it's dinner at noon and supper in the evening. What's the problem?
The point remains, if you would like to continue having the meal with your companion, please do so. Otherwise, if you're not interested, then we will leave you be.
I believe that is all we have for you. Good day.
Nice to meet you, Mitchell. It's not often that a Goliath can best me. Hey, I'll shake hands.
Meet you, Ickman. I stay seated at the table.
Okay.
Let's go for a walk, guys.
Right. Yeah, Paru will just start heading towards the Crow's estate.
Okay. As you guys make your way there, Zarab kind of peeks his head out, walks over a little bit. How did I do?
Exceptional, Papa.
I thought so. I thought I did a very good job.
Your acting is mwah.
I've been thinking about taking improv classes. It's something about no ease or something like that. No ease. I don't remember.
Maybe those classes would be a good idea then, yeah?
Perhaps. Anyways, it didn't stay long. Did I overhear right that he lost someone?
Yes, seems that way. Also seems like they are going to, guess a house?
Did you say Kisa house?
Mm-hmm. I feel like no, they should have plenty of guards there anyway.
Alright. I was about to say, if you are friends, you probably should go, at least talk to him about the person you lost, but you don't know these people, right? Not very well?
No.
Okay.
No. But he's concerning that right after they lose somebody, they're going to rob a house, right?
I'm sure there's something. There's some train of thought. Whose house are they robbing? Is it somebody who should be robbed?
I think they mentioned something about you remember last night the fight, and I think something about that house.
That was messy.
Yes, it was.
I wonder if they... I'm trying to draw the lines between things here, but... Was Christus the name of the tabaxi?
I think so.
Well, if she is the one who didn't make it, perhaps they are blaming this other I don't know. Seems like a lot to not bother myself with. Well, if you are perfectly content here, we can continue to talk. Kind of sits down. Kind of eyes you, though, a little bit. It's a bit too fast.
This is the would let me get some air. Maybe I just need to walk it off a little, you know.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna step outside and kind of just think. I kind of wish that I'm going to just be looking in windows as I'm thinking. See if I catch a glimpse of anybody.
Okay. Is there any kind of person you're looking for in particular?
No. I mean, not really. You know what? Actually, I'll just be looking around, because I know Orchid has been around those other people before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just vaguely looking. I'll even like impose disadvantage on myself.
Okay, yeah,
like,
I was about to say, you're not being specific, so like looking for something is not going to come easy.
100% not.
Okay, so yeah, roll
Like,
a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah, I am just, yeah, oh, that's disadvantage for you. That's a 4 plus perception, that's an 8.
Nothing out of the ordinary other than you can kind of see the direction that Paru, Iklin, and Kadam are going. I mean, you didn't leave too long after they left.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to just follow them at a distance.
Okay.
At a far distance.
Gotcha. With your knowledge of this city, that is definitely not a challenge for you. That being said, we get to Paru, Iklin, and Kadam. What are you all doing? You're headed to Croas, so you make your way there. Along the way, there are a few spots that will require you to kind of work your way around. Actually, you can either work your way around them or not. It's up to you. But Kadam, with kind of your dashings in and out in the city recently, you have kind of gotten a feel for where, you know, the standard thugs tend to be. And even though you're not really aligned with any sort of thief or rogue, like, there you can tell there's some amount of street cred that they give you. So I'll let you decide whether you want to try and avoid those places or engage with them.
They'll try to avoid him.
Okay. You're able to do so relatively easily, kind of helping guide the other two through the city to Croas Estate without running into complications. As you get up there, you can see that the door is open. Somebody's already been inside. And is there anything you all would like to do while you're on the outside of the house? There are a few people kind of here and there, but there's not really a huge population of people about.
Hayden will just open up his robe, and it'll look like he's almost just taking Sirocco out from under his robe, and he's just summoning him there.
Okay.
Basically, and he'll just send him up. Keep a lookout for me. Make sure no one's hiding around here. Give me a hoot. And he'll just shunt him up into the air, let him take off.
Flies off.
Haru looks to Iklin and Kaden and says, if there's anything you wish to grab, just check with me first. I don't want to steal anything that was Christu's.
That is most acceptable.
Wait, we're still stealing. I thought we went.
This is not for you, this is for me. This is how I was supposed to be paid for some work.
Right.
It doesn't... You're here more or less as the friend. Just, if anything goes wrong, just yell at me.
Perhaps it's best if I stand
The
up.
less you know, the better.
I'll stand outside.
Okay.
I'll just do a quick glance around, make sure no one's watching the watchers, basically.
Yeah, Sirocco flies on top of the house and kind of settles on the roof and just kind of keeps its very rotatable head on a swivel. As you kind of make your way in, you watch for an opportunity to enter the house without being noticed. You do so after some time with relative ease, especially with the help of Sirocco. You make your way in. Inside, you can see that a lot of this house has kind of been looted, or at least somebody was in here very recently. Things are, certain tables are on the ground. It's not trashed. It's just very specific areas that seem to have been rummaged through, if you will. At least in this hallway, there are 3 doorways that lead to other rooms. One seemingly to some sort of living space, one to what seems to be kind of kitchen dining room area, and the other to what seems to be some sort of guest bedroom or other maybe office.
I will let you look about Paru and see what you find and collect Christus things. I'm going to have a look about for my own items that I find interesting.
Okay.
Yes, and if you find any additional documents incriminating Progus, I can't decipher them myself, so I trust your
You need to eat your microphone again.
Seriously? Oh my god, it's like...
It might be the angle, too.
Oh, how's this?
That's fine.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. Yes, and if you don't mind looking for any incriminating documents, I'm not that savvy or that intelligent. I trust that you can figure that out.
Not a problem.
Okay. Paru?
So yeah, Paru is going to... He's going to look around.
There are stairs.
Okay. He's just going to kind of wander around. He just trying to get an overall layout. He's not really trying to grab anything. He will stop a little bit longer when he's in what looks like a bedroom or some type of sleeping quarters, and he would kind of linger a little bit longer to see if he can see any belongings of Christus.
Okay. So I assume you go upstairs because that's where the master bedroom would have been. So
he would get there eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just kind of wandering through the house. Just at a surface level, there are nice sets of kitchenware. There are a number of candles, which you remember Christu had a fondness for. There are a number of nice curtains, not overly rich by any means, but they do cover the windows. They're heavy enough to help keep some of the heat or cold out, depending on the season. As you make your way upstairs, eventually you stumble into the room where you can see that there is what draws your attention most is the vanity. The bed itself is made clean and kempt, and you can see that there seems to be a shred of paper and an otherwise relatively clean room.
He's going to pick up the paper and maybe take a look at it, see if it has anything interesting on it.
It is as you begin to read it, it is written in crits, so it is perfectly readable to you, and it's kind of confusing because of its part, you're only getting part of the story here. But after a little bit, you notice, okay, this is very handwritten. There is something about memories reformed. We have again what we once had as kids. Now that he's out of the picture, she is free to love me for who I am. Is kind of the gist you get from this little piece of paper, seemingly most likely from Crowe's journal.
Yeah, he'll discard it, just kind of drop it back on the floor, and he'll just kind of sit at the vanity, just kind of stare at it, just kind of like never really understanding a whole lot of cosmetics. He's just going to kind of take a look at it and just kind of reminisce a little bit and imagine times when Christu would use it and sit there. So he's just sitting there kind of in a, for lack of a better word, in a daze, just kind of taking in the moment.
You sit where she sat, looking at the makeups, which you don't know what they are, but you know the packaging and the cases that they're in look expensive. Chances are this is where she might have spent a little bit more of her money than in other areas of her life. You also notice that there is a very fine jewelry box that is unopened on the side. As you're looking at all these things and your eyes glance into the mirror, you see your face, and then for a brief moment you see Christu in it instead of yourself.
He gets up after kind of taking a moment. He doesn't take anything, and he gets up and starts wandering around the rest of the house, kind of just looking to make sure that there's no one else who is trying to loot things. And not that he distrusts Kadem, but just making sure that Kadem doesn't misunderstand something that is Crowe's when it's actually Christu's. So maybe keeping an eye on stuff that he is grabbing too.
Fair enough. Kadem, as you go through the house, what are you looking for?
I am looking for. I'm gonna check around the house, make sure. I'll check his office. That's what I'm probably most interested in. Checking the office, spare bedroom kind of area. See what's in there.
Okay.
And he's also. He'll like check the house and he'll like just look, see if there's anything hidden, see if there's any hidden documents. He suspects since he had enchantment magic stuff, he might have a hidden compartment maybe somewhere where he hides some good stuff at.
Okay. Immediately upon stepping into the office, which I assume is where you would spend most of your time, at least for the first bit, you can see there's plenty of documentation, nothing of major note. You know, most of it is just kind of knickknacks here and there about, you know, trying to get, you know, things like bills, mortgage. You know, it's very domestic is the word I'm looking for in nature. As you are looking for maybe a little bit more secret compartment or something in which more important documents might be said, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Get my good dice. That is not a good roll, though. Investigation. That is an 11.
Okay. You don't find any secret compartments. But as you're looking through the drawers, you do find what seems to be Christu's will. You also find Crois's will, but I assume that's of less interest to you.
I definitely would take that.
That's fair. That's fair. So go ahead and make that note in your inventory.
Yep.
Christu's will has two variations. One is dated about 3 years ago, and the other one is dated within the past 5 months. So if you want to make a note for that as well. And we can examine these probably in between sessions. And then...
Christu has one from 3 years ago.
Yep.
And one from 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm. But that is all you find with your investigation check. It is about this point, Antoine, that you come upon the Crois estate, if you will. And what would you like to do? You see Eklund.
Yeah, okay.
I am just going to keep my distance and watch.
Okay. Do you want to make a perception check to try and figure out what's going on, or
Yes.
more passively?
I would
Okay.
also like to try and stay hidden.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Eklund, you can make a perception check here as well.
Ooh,
13.
Okay.
I got a 13 as well.
Most of the time, the defender, if you will, is the meets beats. So I would say in this situation, I think the stealth check wins the tie.
I'd agree with that.
So
Okay. I'm gonna make a perception. Let's get something better. That's a little better. That is a 16.
okay. Perception. As you find a spot, you realize in order to hide from Eklund, you're probably going to have to scale a building, which is not terribly difficult. You're able to find a path, you know this part of the city, and so you're able to get on top of a roof. But as you do so, you are able to see very clearly into the room where Paru is, and you can see him sitting at Vanity. You, being a little bit of a makeup connoisseur, can notice that there seems to be some really nice quality stuff in there. But besides that, you do also see, as Paru stares into the mirror for a brief moment, it looks as though Christu is looking back at him rather than him.
Do I not see Keatum at all? Don't see any.
No, he's in a
Paru?
different part of the house, so I'm going to say you probably don't see where he is.
Okay. I'm just going to keep my eyes between that room and the street below and see if any passerbys come by that look like they're going to basically ruin Paru's poor life.
Okay. So without
Poor
Eklund
Paru.
knowing, you were joining him in watch crew. Lookout.
Does my bird notice him?
You're in a different part of the house. The way that like the landscape is like you're kind of at like the northwest side, and he's on like the southeast. Is kind of how I picture it in my head. So spatially, no. If you go
does
to a
Sirocco.
The bird.
oh, does Sirocco? Oh, yeah. You're gonna have to make a perception check with Sirocco against the 13,
Advantage.
which you do have advantage with because owls have advantage. Have keen
Natural
senses.
16.
Yeah. Sirocco does notice him. However, unless you are specifically focusing on it, Sirocco can relay information to you, but
Yeah.
you do not see what he sees. So
Yeah.
that would be
No, that's
dependent
fine.
on whether you check in with Sirocco intentionally throughout the shift. But Sirocco does notice him. let's see here. Paru, are you doing anything additional?
No. He's not really there to rob her or take things. He was doing a lot of just seeing how happy she was living. And after he's just kind of had a little bit of that view of just how she lived and making sure no one else was taking anything, he will join Icklin, or he will look for Icklin specifically and say, have you found anything? I'm sorry, Kadem, not Icklin. Yeah, because I don't know why I always get you two mixed up.
Yes, I did. I found some of Christu's wills.
Okay.
And I will give him Christu's wills. I haven't found anything else yet. I'm just about to go check the rest of the house, just to see if there's anything else hiding around here.
He'll look at the wills, and he will look back to Kadem. Where did you find these?
They were in the office downstairs.
Haru is going to go back to the office, and he's going to return the wills there.
Go do what? Sorry, change the mic.
Oh, he's going to return the wills.
Okay. Do you look at them?
Yeah, I suppose you would out of curiosity.
Okay.
If you need to, yeah, sorry, I know that's kind of like last minute thing. So if you need time to prep it,
I'll give you general ideas. Both Kadem and Paru would know if you check the 5-month-old will. It's full of a lot of legal jargon. It's, everything is kind of more or less handed over to Crois. Some of it goes to there's a charity in town that she supported called Men in Coats, and a couple of other random notes here and there. In the one that is dated from 3 years ago, it very simply states, everything I leave to my beloved Paru. And it is signed, it is official, but it is very, 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 very simple.
Yeah, he'll leave them in the office again.
What was the name of that charity, Cal?
Men in Coats.
Men in Coats.
Okay.
And then he'll just go out to Aiden. I'll be waiting out front. And
Yes, I'm just going to make a quick scan through the house real quick, make sure everything we grabbed that we desired, and we'll be on our way.
Paru, as you begin to leave the office, you feel a tug in your pocket. A tug in your pocket.
A bug in your pocket, or you just happy to see me?
Paru will reach into his pocket and inspect whatever it is that is tugging at his pocket.
As you reach your hand into the pocket, you feel another hand in your pocket with you, and the braid of hair, the braid of fur, is lifted out and kind of like looks almost as if someone is tossing it towards the desk.
he'll go over to he'll follow the braid of hair and go over to the desk.
Okay. It jumps underneath the desk in such a way that you have to crawl underneath it. And as you do so, well, should you do so?
Yeah.
There is like a shelf on the back of the desk that is covered, that once you reach your hand into, you pull out a diary. And it is Christu's diary.
Is the locket of hair is it moving anymore?
Nope. Seems to lay still.
Okay. He will take the diary as a sign, and he will take the hair that was given to him, and he'll put it back into. Well, he'll tie it back around his belt buckle, and he'll kind of wonder how it got in his pocket again. But yeah, he's kind of taking this as a bit of an omen now. And then he will head out to the front of the mansion with Icklin, and he's just going to thumb through the diary while he's kind of waiting for Kadim.
Okay.
Just quickly looking over the house, checking just everything, seeing if there's anything else left over.
No,
that
there.
might pique my interest.
Oh gosh, there's so much. There's like
more importantly, maybe anything that would pique my employer's interest.
Okay. Anything that would pique your employer's interest would be found in that office. So if you want to take sufficient time, risking, whatever, however long it takes, and people reacting to people being in this dead person's house, if you want to take the time, you may to essentially succeed on an investigation check in that room.
Or at least you would see that Paru has thrown the wills back in there. You wanted to retake them.
Oh, did you say you took the wills back, right? Or did you leave them?
No, he left them.
Okay.
Yeah. I would at least take the time to at least make note of the wills in my mind, at least, so that way I could run those back through later. But yeah, I will take some time and actually go through that office.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll for that, Cal?
Nope. As you spend time in the office, you eventually find a difficult compartment. That being said, I'm going to have you roll a house roll to see if anyone notices or anything awry happens outside.
That one is the 9.
Okay. So, as you look through this, you see there are some documents that imply something very sketchy. There are arrangements made with various nobles around the city, which you will get a note on next session. That being said, at this time, there seems to be a number of thugs accruing around this location. Antoine and Icklin both notice that there are a couple of guys who seem to be coming who have long coats, clearly hiding something underneath them, and just in general kind of like casually, glaring at the house. What would you two like to do?
Make eye contact with one of them as I cross my arms.
Okay. Roll an intimidation check, I guess.
Okay. I can do that. 9.
You kind of cross your arms, and like as you lock eyes with someone, he goes, and just shares looks with the people around him.
I smile at him, and can I stealthily make my tooth pointy? Just so he'd notice.
You can make your tooth pointy. You can certainly try.
I'll just smile, and my teeth will suddenly get sharp.
Okay.
And then I'll close, and then I'll stop smiling.
Make a stealth check.
Is everything okay?
11.
Okay. You smile, and he rolls his eyes and looks back and goes. Just looks to the guy next to him. No other reaction.
Great.
Antoine, are you doing anything?
I'm just keeping as long as none of them have taken notice of me. I'm just going to keep watch.
Okay. Okay, you do so. As you are kind of hidden up on the roof, you do notice that there seems to be another Goliath who is looking around and just happens to kind of look up, and he makes eye contact with you. Doesn't say anything, doesn't immediately react, but his eyes have glanced over your space that you occupy. Take that as you will.
I'm just hanging out.
So, with that, you guys hear a crash as a window is broken into on the other side of the house. Kadem, immediately from behind you, two individuals jump into the room and stab you. That is not great.
Stab you.
That's gonna be a 16. Does that hit?
It might. Yeah, 16 hits.
Okay, that's the first one. The second one is gonna be higher. And as they both try to slip daggers, they are both going for non-lethal damage, and deal, in combination, a total of 13 damage.
I'm up.
It is non-lethal, so even if it brings you down to 1 hit point, it will not bring you below that. For whatever reason, you don't know. With that...
Do we hear the crash?
Oh yes, everyone hears the crash. So, let's have everybody roll initiative. Who's at least in the space.
Fantastic. 3. I'd really like that follow along ability again.
You miss it? I'm sure you do. That's a good ability.
I know, it was great. I never had to worry about combat. I know it was
19.
All right. Let's go with above 20. Has anyone gotten above 20? No. So 19 is Kadem at highest.
No, 20. Well, I have 20. You said above 20.
Oh, okay. 20 for you. Cool. Gotcha. Thank you. And then 15 to 18. No. Okay. Who's next? Let's do 10 to 14. 9 and blue.
What'd you get, Mike? What'd you get, Mike?
I got a 3.
Oh, a 3.
All right. Antoine, did you roll?
No, I'm staying out of this. I'm just watching.
Okay. You aren't gonna try to use your charm?
No. What? Why am I getting in this conflict?
You know some of these
watching.
people.
I know. I've met them. I have
Just
met
saying.
them.
and Iklin. All right, so with that, Paru, you are first. You hear the crashing and the shattering of the window in the room that Kadam is in. What do? You are just kind of entering the hallway.
Yes,
So you're the closest.
Paru will try to run in, follow the source of the sound, and provided that it does not use up more than 30 feet of his movement, does he see them after moving? Oh, actually 35 feet because of my dex bonus. So after moving 35 feet, does he see him?
Yes. Yeah, you're at 35 feet. You're able to get in the door. You're even able to engage them in melee if that's what you want to do.
No. Paru is not a combat fighter. Or not a very good fighter. What he will do is he will try to cast Bane. And he will use his one vitality to cast it, so it doesn't fail. So they have to make charisma saving throws.
All right. That is a natural 7 for less than 10, and then that's going to be a 15 on the second one.
Okay, 15 makes it. The 10 fails. So the one that failed, whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw,
they subtract d4.
They subtract a d4.
Excellent, got it. This like negative red and black energy just kind of like sets in on one of them, and like it just seems they're sparking red and black energy sparks. With that, do you have a bonus action that you're doing?
I don't think I can cast Healing Word because I already cast another spell, and it's a cantrip.
You can. I don't think it's that overpowered for a caster to cast 2 spells in one turn, so you can if you like.
Okay. In that case, he will use another Vitality cast Healing Word on Kadam.
Kadam? Okay, go ahead and roll your healing for that.
Okay. 4.
All right, excellent. Kadam, you are healed for 4. And with that, we get to the scoundrels. They
19?
are
they going before me?
Oh yes, you do go before them. Go ahead, Kadam. Sorry.
Okay. I am going to... I'm guessing these guys are basically right in front of me, like the door is right behind me, basically. These guys are right in front of me.
Paru is now in the door.
Paru is now in the door.
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Minor Conjuration, and I'm going to conjure a 5-foot wall between me and them.
Okay. All right. It is thin.
It is anything I want so long as it fits within a 5-foot square.
I think if that's based off of the conjuration, it should be a 1-foot cube, because a 5-foot cube is a large area.
It's a 3 foot on a side. 3 foot on a side.
3 foot on the side.
I
Okay.
messed that up.
And weigh no more than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, it's gonna be thin. Like, it's not gonna really.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a barrier maybe, but it's not gonna do a ton.
Yeah, I didn't read that right.
It's a curtain.
Okay, you have 20 seconds.
You summon a sheet of plywood.
Crap.
5 seconds.
Just gonna bolt.
Okay.
Action, dodge. Action to dodge. Movement to run.
And then, do you have cunning action?
No.
Okay, so you disengage. Got it. And you move 5 feet away. That leaves them unable to attack you. They're going to take their turn, and with you leaving the room, it is going to take you double the movement speed to get through Paru's square. So your amount of space that you can move is diminished there. And I'm gonna say you can't fly in this space. You don't have enough room for your wings to go out. So.
Fine.
As you get to the opposite side of Paru, they're going to make an attack against Paru. And that is going to be a 13 on 1 to hit.
That's the okay. Yeah, one of them has a minus D4 in their attack roll.
So
13 does not.
13 does not hit. They rolled a natural 18. I rolled a 4 on the Bane, so it's a 14 plus 2, which is 16. Does that still hit?
That misses.
Wow. Paru's got
17.
AC.
Does.
All right, respect. Okay, so they both make strikes at you. You are able to, with your feline agility, keep from getting hit. And from there we go to Icklin. What are you doing?
What are the robes doing? The sketchy looking guys outside the building.
They're all kind of looking, they seem raring to go. If you want, make an insight check.
Natural 20.
Okay. These are all different parties going for the same thing. They're waiting for people to do their dirty work and then going after.
I'll kind of glance behind me really quick, and I'll just kind of stand up and put my arms out a little bit. It's like, if you're here for something, I am the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait on. I'm just a hold action to knock out whoever walks towards me, I guess.
Okay. I'm assuming excluding Kadam and Paru.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm facing the street. I'm letting the deal
Gotcha.
with
So
what's
anyone who
going on
comes in
behind
from
me.
that side, got it.
Yeah. I'm blocking the entire street. So,
Okay.
yeah.
We're at the back at the top of initiative again. Paru, what are you doing?
Gosh.
Get out.
No, they're actually going to try to steal from Christu, I think. So Paru is actually going to get kind of defensive here, and he will he'll essentially just cast. He'll actually strike at one of them with his cat claws.
Okay, nice. Oh gosh, almost fell.
Oh god. Well, that misses. So he will essentially stay there and try
Okay.
to block them from being able to exit the room.
All right, excellent. Kadam, your turn. What are you doing?
Crap. I am outside the room now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the baddies still?
Yep.
I'm gonna fire a shot over
Paru's shoulder.
Paru's shoulder.
Okay. Do so. Realizing that because he is in between on a low roll, you will hit Paru.
It doesn't matter. I got a natural 19.
Okay. Worth
so
the risk.
25. And I get to roll a d6. That's great. 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And I will tell him, we need to leave. There's too many people. There's people outside. We need to go.
Did you deal your sneak attack damage too? You don't have sneak attack. Never mind. Sorry, I was thinking regular
Not that
rogue.
kind of rogue, buddy.
Yep. Okay. So, with the 5, all right. He looks hurting.
And
He
then
looks
I will also head towards the door with my movement.
excellent. You do so. Moving on to them. The one with the bolt in his shoulder is going to try to attack you. Wow. A natural 3 and a 4. They definitely miss Paru that round. Icklin, your turn. You can hear clattering of fight going on behind you.
What's any reaction to the street?
Nope, they're all just waiting.
I will also wait on the street until one of my compatriots signals me to do something. I'm still
Kadam, you can see
blocking
Icklin, by
it.
the way. You're like right next to him at this point.
That is all right.
I'm blocking the entrance and just ready. Yeah.
Okay,
You see me just going into my bag.
gotcha. Paru, go.
he's going to attack the same one that Tatum shot.
Okay, excellent. Lucky for you, that's not even the one you baned.
Oh, I got double natural
20.
Oh.
Oh,
a lot of damage. Just 6 slashing.
That's a little bit of damage.
Okay, what's the damage you got on there?
Just 6.
All right, as you claw, unintentionally you like grasp a bit of the throat, and just like part of the jugular just releases blood, pouring out, and they fall over dead. Body kind of like convulsing slightly. The one kind of looks to you and then looks at his friend.
Yeah, Paru will look at the other one with just a sneer and say, "Get out."
Make an intimidation check at advantage.
19.
Okay. What was it?
19.
19. All right, excellent. So, with that, he kind of like backs away slowly. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end session. Initiative stopping for the moment. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week.
Have a good night.
Night.